This is the Xiaomi Mi A2 Lite. Actually, it's the box, but the phone came in the box. What's up everybody, it's PJ the Great. I hope you're having a super beautiful day. And today I have a new phone for you guys. This is the Xiaomi Mi A2 Lite. And let me tell you something. There's nothing really light about this phone. Now let's share some specs about this little guy right here. The model that I picked up, this is the 4GB RAM and 64GB ROM version. But here are the specs that you can expect, no matter which one that you get. It has a 12 megapixel and 5 megapixel double shooters on the back of the phone here. It has a 5.8 inch LCD screen, getting you 1080p. And yeah, before you guys start making the comments, I compared it side by side to my iPhone XR, and the iPhone XR still looks better. Sorry. It's housed in a Snapdragon 625 processor, and it has room for 2 SIM cards on top of a SD card, up to 256 gigabytes, and it is adoptable storage because I threw in a 64 gigabyte SD card in mine. Adoptable storage, turn my little 64 gig into a 128 gig. I'm liking that. Another key selling feature about this little device here, I know I'm liking this, is I'm coming from the Motorola Moto E4 Plus that had a 5,000 mAh battery. This one has a 4,000 mAh battery. So this thing's been lasting me a while. I've only had it for like 2 days and I'm getting through the day, and it's lasting longer than my iPhone XR. So the battery is boss. Now the OS this thing is running right out of the box is Android 8.1 Oreo, which is pretty boss. But what I like about it is the fact that it's part of the Android One program. That means for at least 2 years, maybe even longer, you're going to be getting the latest security patches as well as the latest OSs. Now, the big brother to this phone, the Xiaomi Mi A2, already has the Android 9.0 Pie version. This one's scheduled to get Pie sometime like before the end of this year. So that's pretty awesome. Another awesome thing too about being a part of the Android One program is that you get vanilla Android. No skins on the top of this thing, so you don't have to worry about that. You're getting Android the way it was meant to be, which I pretty much like. To be honest with you, I used it for like 1 day with just pure stock Android. Then I went back to Nova Launcher because I just like how much customization you can do with Nova Launcher. But hey, if vanilla Android is your thing, this is your phone. It's kind of like a Pixel 3 on a budget. Another key selling feature with this Mi A2 Lite is that you get a fingerprint sensor, and it's right on the back. Took me a while to get used to it because I'm so accustomed to it being on the front, like with my old iPhones, and my Moto E4 Plus had it on the front. But I'm getting the hang of it, and it's pretty cool. And you know what? It's pretty responsive too. I mean, it's not going to be like lightning fast, like iPhone fast, but it's fast enough. It gets the job done. Now, how does an Apple fanboy feel about this phone? Especially since I just got the iPhone XR. Let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, this phone is awesome. I paid $185 for it on Amazon.com. This video is not sponsored, by the way. And using it side by side for just 2 days with this $900 iPhone XR that I just purchased, I'm kind of like wondering why I paid $900 for the iPhone XR. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, this thing is handling everything that I throw at it. Now, keep in mind that what I use it for is to check some emails, send a couple of text messages, make phone calls, do a lot of social media on this thing, and a couple other like productivity apps here and there, because I primarily bought this phone to use for work. But everything that I've been throwing at it, it's been buttery smooth. I haven't seen any hitches in it whatsoever. And even when I threw the Nova launcher on there, it's still running as smooth as can be. I mean, for $185, you're not gonna beat this at all. This phone is pretty much awesome. It does kind of remind me, like I said, that you have a Pixel 3 on a budget. I mean, like an extreme budget in comparison to the price of what they're asking for that phone. I think this phone is killer. I mean, it's amazing what they're giving you at this price. It's crazy. All right, so let's say that you can't afford one of these, the latest iPhone, or maybe you don't want to pay the money for it. You can pick this up. Look, it has pretty much the same look. I'm calling it like an iPhone 10 with an Android skin. I mean, it's gonna save you a whole lot of money. And you know, in the Android App Store, if you really wanted to make this thing look like an iPhone, you can. There's different like launchers that you can get that'll make it look like the iPhone 10. Pick this joint up, $185 at the time I'm shooting this video. Put one of those skins on it. It's just like you have an iPhone 10 with an Android skin. I mean, seriously, when you look at them side by side, look, they both have the notch. And I just gotta say, ever since iPhone put the notch in their phones, now these companies, especially these like budget companies, they're putting the notch on there even if they don't even need to, because they're just assuming that means it's premium. I looked at this notch here and seriously, I don't even see why it was needed. They really didn't need to put the notch on this phone, especially when you look at the big old chin on this phone. This phone has a big chin on the bottom. What's up with that? I mean, they could have easily slid it down a little bit and then there'd be no need for the notch. But because of Apple, notches mean premium. And as I mentioned earlier, the cameras that come on this phone is not too shabby. 12 megapixel and 5 megapixel dual shooters on the back. The front, I think, has a 5 megapixel camera. If I'm wrong, I'll leave a little note on the screen. So you know, I always like to test out the cameras for you guys and give you a little sample. So here's a little something that I shot while I was out Christmas shopping today. Take a look at this. That's not like my typical B-roll that I shoot with these phones. I actually plan on doing like a better job, like a whole dedicated B-roll and photo video, kind of like what I did for the iPhone XR. But I just want to give you guys a little taste right now so that you can see what you're working with. And here's a couple of pictures that I took while I was out shopping today too, just to give you a little idea. Not too shabby, I will admit. As far as the video recording is concerned, I did see a little warping in there. I wish that wasn't the case, but you have to remind yourself, how much did you pay for this? Okay, so what is my conclusion? What do I think about this phone after using it for only 48 hours? Well, let me just tell you, $185, you're not gonna go wrong with this at all. I'm a Apple fanboy, I will say that. I have used Android devices before in the past. Every time I use an Android device, I've always ended up going back to Apple because of the ecosystem, of course. But this phone right here, the Xiaomi Mi A2 Lite, it has me thinking, man. It really does. It has me thinking because I'm really starting to like Android now. I like having an Android device and an Apple device. This phone has me thinking because, like, if I can get this for $185 and all the things that it does, and then I'm paying Apple $900 for the iPhone XR, only because I got the 256 gigabyte model, which I shouldn't have. What's going on? I mean, it depends on what type of user you are. And it has wireless charging. All right, that part's a joke. It doesn't really have wireless charging. I got one of those little Qi adapters for like $7, but for $7 extra, I have wireless charging now. It's just making me think, you know, why are we shelling out all this money to the big kingpin Apple when you got these companies out there like Xiaomi and Blue and Huawei and all the others that are making these killer spec phones for like half the price of an iPhone? That's the reason why sales have halted for this year's iPhone. Because companies like this, like Xiaomi, are stepping up to the plate saying, hey, we can give you everything you need or just what you need for a fraction of the cost. This phone is boss. I'm almost on the fence of saying that if I would have came across this before I bought the iPhone XR, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have just kept my 7 Plus to stay in the ecosystem and then have this. It just, I don't know, it's just blowing my mind what these companies can do now for such a little price tag. All right, guys, so if you like this video, do me a favor, give it a big old thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a big old thumbs down, but hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you didn't like about it or what you did like about it. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. It'll really help me out. Come and hang out with me. Come and hang out with us. I share a lot of affordable tech here on this channel, and I do an occasional vlog here and there. And to all of my subscribers out there and the people that have been subscribing lately or the ones that have been with me since day one, I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. And you know what? I'm going to do another video on this phone. I have to. I'm going to do a proper B-roll video, so be on the lookout for that. And then I'm going to give you guys my 2-week summary of how I feel about using this iPhone X with an Android skin, is what I'm labeling it. This thing is awesome. I don't even know, like, the Xiaomi Mi A2, the big brother, it's supposed to be better than this. This is like sweet. Loving it. Awesome, awesome choice. I'm gonna be rocking this phone for like a while. Until I see you guys in the next video, this is PJ the Great saying Audi 5000G. And I didn't have to pay 5000G for this phone.